7 clubs remain perfect over in the Champions League, heading into matchday number 3, following on from the opening 2 successive victories. And we have some surprise names in there, including Aston Villa and Brest, that's right. But who will be there at the end of matchday number 3? We'll get into it next. That's right, folks, back once again on a prediction video today. It's all about matchday number 3, that's right, over in this year's Champions League. Dortmund are tipping the top of the table with that impressive goal difference, with the likes of Benfica, Liverpool and Juventus hot on their tails. But will they be there after matchday number 3? We'll get into all of it in a second. Of course, if you knew where you've been, smash your subscribe button. You want to stop shop for Champions League, Blackburn Rovers, World Football. We're going to all hear under one Rooski. Yes, busy. Let's get busy. Lots of football to be had, including Europe's top ever competition. Now, we're going to jump in to matchday number 3 shortly, but before all that, big shout out to the patrons, that's right, you know who you are, and a big shout out to the members, you know who you are. Impressive stuff, support the channel behind the scenes, but let's turn the clocks now quickly back to match number 2 before we kick on forward to the next round of games. Alrighty then, folks, here we go, returning back to match day number 2, and these were the results. Look at some of that. Goal difference could be the difference between success and failure, or qualification and elimination, and that's why you see some heavyweight scorelines. People are not taking it easy, including Brest with a 4-0 win over Salzburg in Austria. Big win for them on the road. Stuttgart and Sparta Prague, that was a draw. Massive point for Sparta Prague in the end. Look at Dortmund though, put 7 against Celtic. Wow. Barcelona putting 5 past Young Boys Bern. Internazionale putting 4 past Red Star. And then, of course, Leverkusen squeaking past AC Milan. Arsenal doing the double. Well, scoring the double against PSG. PSV with a draw against Sporting. Bratislava losing to Man City quite heavily. Atalanta with a big 3-0 away win over Shakhtar Donetsk. Feyenoord, monster win over Girona, should I say, over in Spain. Liverpool with a 2-0 win over Bologna. Leipzig and Leverkusen 5-goal thriller going in favour of the visitors. Benfica put 5 past typically tight-fisted Atletico, 4-0 winners in the end. Zagreb, Monaco 2-2 in the end. Lille squeaking past Real Madrid with a bit of a surprise 1-0 win there. Villa doing the same over Bayern, and Brugge with a 1-0 win over Sturm Graz. That's right. So a whole host of surprises there. Of course, a bit of a rejig in the table. So let's take a look as situations currently stand in this new Champions League format. This is the bottom end of the table. If you're here, you're in trouble. These guys are going nowhere. They're going to be eliminated. If this was to be the case at the end of this league phase, we would say goodbye to Milan. We said goodbye to RB Salzburg and their brother from another RB Leipzig. And Stuttgart will probably be on their way out alongside Bologna as well. So some names you wouldn't expect to be down there. And then you move to the middle of the pack. Now, these guys are safe to an extent. They would go through to a playoff, and of course the winner of that playoff will then go through to join the top 8, which we'll see in a minute. So currently in this little cluster of teams, we have BSG, we have Arsenal in there, we have Barcelona, Bayern, Real Madrid, some real heavy hitters that will have to do extra work to get themselves out of it. But there's plenty of time left, so relax yourselves just there. But then we move into the top 8, where we do see a couple of surprises. So Man City squeak in there. They're the best of the 4th place teams to get that final 8th spot, but then it's all perfect records so far. Juve, Aston Villa, Liverpool, Leverkusen, Benfica, Brest are up there. Good start for them. Picking up some good wins and some heavy wins, and Dortmund the same. So that's the situation we have here right now. Meanwhile, over in the Super Brewski, have a look at Sparta with 17 points this past week. Pim predicted blast on the pass right there. He's up there with 16.5. Hans Wurst is all there up there with 16 as well. Gillespie Ghosts up there. Drew Marley, track bonus, all the guys. I'm all the way down here with 10.5. Didn't do great this week, so we're going to hope to bounce back and fast. This is the current state play after 2 weeks. It is Gillespie Ghost up top there, 37 points. Hans Wurst is alongside him. Pim Predict also doing the business as well. I'm all the way down. I'm talking down, deeper and down. 14th place right now. But it is a marathon, not a sprint, guys. I will be back, and I will be up there towards the end of the table. I promise you that. If you want to get involved, it is 100% free, guys. Get involved. Use the link on the screen. Should be right about now. Of course, we're coming back week in, week out for the Prediction League over in the Champions League. Alrighty then, folks, we've got some absolute ding-dong matches coming at you over in the Champions League, and we're going to kick it off at the top of the graphic. Where we're going to go? We are heading to Italy. We're going to head over to the Giuseppe Meazza. So sit tight, hold on, and away we go. That's right, AC Milan taking on Club Brugge out of Belgium, currently managed by Nicky Hayden, up against Milan and Paolo Fonseca, coming out to the Giuseppe Meazza or the San Siro, depending on however you call it. Milan, though, coming into this on the back of 50% form for them right now. They are in the bottom end of the table, 32nd. Of course, we're back-to-back defeats. They did lose to Leverkusen last time around in this competition, but I'm also saying back-to-back defeats, both Europe and domestically, losing to Fiorentina before the international break. Both of those games were on the road, but Bruges coming into this on the flip side, 50% form for them right now, 1-2, lost 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6, but unbeaten in the last 3, and they sit in 21st right now with a win at their first couple of games. Now, they played twice, these two clubs, 1 win apiece, and of course, those games were way back in the 2003-2004 Champions League, and they exchanged victories, Bruges winning in Italy, and Milan winning in Belgium, so a repeat of that would be tremendous news for Bruges, who coming into this on the back of that 1-1 draw against Union Saint-Gilloise. We got basic odds on this one. The basic odds mean that Milan are going to win this game according to the bookies. They are favoured on this one. Bruges are your underdogs. And I think I'm applying that same mentality here to this game. I think AC Milan will get their victory, a first one for them, and Bruges taking the L. Meanwhile, let's head over to the island of Monaco. That's right, as AS Monaco take on Red Star Belgrade, coming at you on the 22nd of October at the Louis II Stadium in Monaco. Now, these two sides have played twice since 2022. We'll talk about that in a minute. Monaco and Adi Hüttler, 92% form for them right now. They are unbeaten in the last 10 games, of course, 14th in the table right now, 4 points to their name, up against Red Star, aka Zvezda, managed by Vladimir Milokovic. They're coming into this on 67% form, winning 3 out of the last 4 matches, but they are 33rd in this table. Now, these two sides did play twice since 2022. It was 2 wins out of 2 for Monaco, beating them over in Serbia, and of course, beating them comfortably in Monaco back in November 2022, 4-1 it was back then. Monaco on the back of a 2-1 win over Star Rennes, of course, in Ligue 1. Red Star Belgrade beating Novi Beograd in their respective league before this match. Bookies, they go with Monaco here, as do I. I think Monaco will get a big win here. 2-0 winners, 3 points in the bag, and climbing up the table they go. Meanwhile, we hop on over, just down the road, really, from Monaco into France and over to Parc des Princes. That's right, PSG under Luis Enrique up against PSV under Peter Boas, of course, from the Dutchlands. That is Eindhoven to you and me. These two sides, according to my data, haven't played each other ever. But PSG coming into this on a 67% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. However, you want to spin it a different way, they've only won once out of the last 4 matches, of course. They sit 18th for the table with 3 points to their name, up against PSV, who are on 75% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are 24th with 1 point out of a possible 6 in this competition. Coming into this, PSV on the, now there's the visitors, the Dutchies, coming into this on the back of a 2-1 win over Sparta Rotterdam. PSG, on the flip side, drawing with Nice, which was not very, very nice. To make it back-to-back games without a win. The last time they won was when the last time they played at this very venue, and they came out on top with a 3-1 win over Star Rennes. The bookies, they go with PSG. Eindhoven, the underdogs on this one. Again, both clubs, as are the rest, going to be playing a previous game before this one in the domestic league. We are coming at you a little early. I am travelling, so I'm trying to get this out there to you. But yeah, PSG will win this 3-1 win over in the Parc des Princes. Meanwhile, skip and a jump over to England. We go down to London. Oh no, I've stop it. Stop the rot. I lied to you. I lied to you. We're not going there. I misread. We're going to Madrid. We're going to go to the Bernabeu. Let's sit tight. Hold on tight. Here we go. I'm off to the Bernabeu. I do apologise. Got your hopes up there. We'll talk about Arsenal in a minute. Let's talk about Real Madrid against high flyers, table toppers. That is Dortmund. That's right. Carlo Ancelotti's Madrid sits 17th right now with 3 points to their name, but just 1 defeat in the last 6 matches. Dortmund under Nuri Sahin are a bit hot and cold right now. We just don't know what kind of team they are. They put 7 past Celtic, but then they go ahead and lose their last match against Union Berlin. I just don't know what to expect from them. But however, these two clubs have played 14 times since 2003. 7 wins for Madrid, 3 wins for Dortmund. There's been 4 draws between the two sides. And with the most recent match being the Champions League final, of course, Real Madrid coming out on top, 2-0 winners. Was that at Wembley back in June 2024? The last time they played, though, on Spanish soil, it was a 3-2 win for Madrid back in December 2017. The host, that is Real. They come into this on the back of a 2-0 win over Villarreal. They will be playing Celta Vigo prior to this. Dortmund taking on St. Pauli. Both are expected to win those games and quite comfortably as well. Bookies on this one, they'll go with Madrid. Dortmund are the underdogs, but they are the table topper, so it could be a surprise here. But I'm going to go with Real Madrid. 3-0 win, big win to put a bit of authority in this Champions League. Now let's head over to London, of course, and Arsenal as they take on Shakhtar Donetsk over at the Emirates. That's right. Arsenal under Mikel Arteta sit 13th right now, 4 points to their name, winning 4 on the spin. That's right. 83% form for them over the last 6. They haven't lost in the last 12 matches. They haven't lost any of the last home matches, but they're up against Shakhtar Donetsk, a team they have played twice since 2010, and they come out with a win and a defeat against Shakhtar Donetsk, who are managed by Mariano Pulisic, the Dutchman. 67% form for them right now. They are 27th in the table with just 1 point to their name. Of course, the recent matches between these two sides, the last time they played in London, it was a 5-1 win for Arsenal back in October 2010. Meanwhile, Shakhtar picked up a 2-1 win the last time that these two sides played back in November 2010. Shakhtar, though, on the back of a 5-1 win over Cherksey, that's in the domestic league there, taking on Kovalyanka this weekend prior to the game over in Arsenal. The Gunners taking on Bournemouth and expected to win that game as well. They're also expected to win at Shakhtar Donetsk here at the Emirates when it comes to, of course, the 22nd of October. So busy weeks up ahead, busy days up ahead, but Arsenal will win this one. 2-0 winners at the Emirates. Let's head on over to Italy now as Juventus take on Stuttgart at the Allianz Stadium over in Turin. Juventus under Thiago Motta sits 7th right now. They're in the automatics or the promotion spots or whatever you want to call it, with 6 points of a possible 6. They're unbeaten in the last 9 matches, rocking a 75% form in all competitions and all venues. Their opponents are Stuttgart, coming at you out of the Bundesliga, managed by Sebastian Hoeneß. They're unbeaten in the last 5, but they've drawn 4 on the trot. They're on 50% form, 24th in the table with just 1 point to their name. Now, they're not played, these two sides, ever, according to my data, but Stuttgart, on the back of a draw against Hoffenheim, that was in the Bundesliga prior to the break, taking on Bayern this weekend, big game for them. And they're anticipated to lose that game, I imagine. Juventus taking a shock draw against Cagliari at home. So, in fact, their back-to-back home games for Juventus have ended up and draws. That was against Napoli and then Cagliari. Can they change the plan here? They've got Lazio to kind of a dress rehearsal this weekend, so we'll see how that pans out. But the bookies are expecting a Juventus win, as am I. Going to go with the host here. 2-1 win, narrow win, but enough to get them 3 points and remain perfect in this Champions League phase. Meanwhile, let's head back over to England now as Aston Villa take on Bologna. That's right, as Aston Villa under Unai Emery try to maintain their perfect start to this Champions League. They are 6 with 6 points out of the possible 6. 83% form for them over the last 6 matches, and they are unbeaten in the last 8 matches. Bologna, though, under Vincenzo Italiano, just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are also the draw kings, picking up 4 draws out of the last 6 matches. They sit 26th in this group, or this league, with just the 1 point thus far. That 1 point was a draw against Shakhtar, of course. Villa with big wins against young boys Bern and Bayern. In fact, back-to-back clean sheets in this competition. They're also on back-to-back clean sheets in all competitions, all venues, drawing with Man United and then picking up that 1-0 win over Bayern. The bookies, they go with Villa on this one. They should be favoured. Of course, Villa taking on Fulham prior to this. Bologna going to Genoa prior to this as well. I'm going to go with Villa here as well. 2-0 win, another clean sheet, another 3 points. Can they make it through to that illustrious knockout stages? It's looking good at the moment. Meanwhile, let's head over to Spain now as Girona take on Bratislava. That's Slovan Bratislava to their mates. Girona under Michel currently find themselves 30th in this group. Just 1 win in the last 6 games. Pretty grim stuff for them this season over in La Liga. Up against Slovan Bratislava and Vladimir Weiss, the ledge. That is Vladimir Weiss. 58% form for them right now. Back-to-back games without a win. They are 35th as both clubs come into this, trying to look for their first point. Something's going to change in this. Points will be given, whether it be 3 or 1. Bratislava, though, on the back of a 1-1 draw against Trencin in their domestic league. Girona did pick up a win, a big win against Athletic Bilbao prior to this. They'll take on Sociedad this weekend, with Slovan Bratislava taking on Trnava. That's Spartak Trnava. But Girona are expected to win this game. It's in Spain. Will the real Girona stand up? I think so. I'm going to go with a 2-1 win, squeaky bum win, to continue this streak of home wins. Meanwhile, we'll head over to Austria, of course, where Sturm Graz will take on a spicy-looking Sporting Lisbon. That's right. Sturm Graz, managed by Christian Ilzer, 42% form for them right now. They have just one loss the last 4 matches. They sit 31st with 0 points to the name. Sporting, under Ruben Amram, they are 92% form for them right now. Sit 12th with 4 points to the name and have played at Sturm Graz twice in 2023. Both of those games were in the Europa League. That was last season, I believe. And it was a last time they played at this very venue. 2-1 win it was for Sporting Lisbon way back in September 2023. They did the double, of course, securing 6 points against them. Sturm Graz, though, on the back of a 5-0 win over Salzburg. Of course, that was in the Bundesliga prior to this. They'll take on GAC in the Bundesliga prior to this. Meanwhile, Sporting, on the back of a 2-0 win over Casa Pia in the Portuguese top flight, they will be taking on Portimonense on the road on this one. They're probably expected to win that game as well. Spicy one, this one again. I have predicted all home wins thus far, but this is, I believe, is where it changes. I'm going to go with a Sporting Lisbon 2-0 win on the road. Big win for them to maintain their unbeaten start in this Champions League phase. And, of course, that will complete the games taking place on the 22nd of October. Meanwhile, we're going to hop on down through the mountains and the Alps, maybe. I don't know if it's the Alps, but up to the Graz Stadium. It's Atalanta as they take on Celtic, of course, with some work to do in their Champions League adventure. Atalanta under Gian Piero Gasparini currently find themselves 11th, 4 points over possible 6. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. 67% form for them right now. That's in all competitions and all venues. Celtic under Brendan Rodgers, 83% form for them right now, winning 5 of the last 6. But, of course, they do compete on the back of that 1 defeat was a big one. And of course, they sit 20th with 3 points to their name. They did respond, did Celtic, from that 7-1 loss to Dortmund with a 2-1 away win against Ross County, but that's Scotland. Meanwhile, Atalanta picking up a 5-1 win over Genoa. That, of course, followed on from that win over Shakhtar Donetsk. Atalanta will go to Valencia this weekend. Celtic will take on Aberdeen. Of course, that'll be spicy, but they're expected to win that one and comfortably. So this is the serious stuff for Celtic. They need to respond from that Champions League loss. And this is a game that's more achievable, but it is going to be a difficult place to go, and that is the Graz Stadium. Of course, returning back to the home side here, going to go with another 2-1 win. Atalanta, Celtic taking another L. Meanwhile, let's head on over to Gwynedd as Brest, who are flying high, sitting in second of the table, up against Leverkusen, who are not far behind, in fourth, also on 6 points, as these two sides lock horns at the Stade de Roudu. It is, of course, going to break one of these two clubs, if not both. Perfect record so far in this Champions League. Brest sits second, 6 points, 67% form for them right now, just 1 defeat in the last 5. We'll take a look at Leverkusen on 83% form for them right now, unbeaten in the last 6. Of course, that 1 defeat in the last 5 for Brest was a 3-0 loss to Auxerre. And that was on the road. They followed that up with back-to-back clean sheets, beating Salzburg and beating Le Havre in the domestic competition. So that does seem like a bit of an off day, that Auxerre one, because they had 3 clean sheets at the last 4 matches. Leverkusen, on the flip side, did draw with Holstein Kiel, which was a bit of a shocker. In fact, they've drawn 2 of the last 3, of course, but one of those was against Bayern. Bookies on this one, they will go with Leverkusen. Brest, of course, been phenomenal, and they're scoring a buttload of goals in this. But this is their first real competition in this Champions League. I agree. I think I'm going to go with... Well, I'm going to sit on the fence, I think. Going to go with a draw here. I'm not too sure where that came from, but I'm going to give Brest a bit of clout here, bit of something. They'll make it awkward. And, of course, that point is massive, because this is a serious opposition, is Bayern. But they're at home. So let's back Brest here. We like a bit of Brest. Cheeky 1-1 draw in the end. Meanwhile, it's the game of the round. That's right. We head over to Barcelona as they take on Bayern. There's so much to this game you wouldn't believe. It's taking place at the Estadio Olympic Luis Companys, and Hansi Flick, ex-coach of Bayern, will take Barcelona to the house here. 16th for the table, 3 points to the name, 67% form for them right now, winning 4 of the last 5 up against Hansi Flick's old club. That's Bayern, who are on 67% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 6. They are sitting in 15th with 3 points to the name. Don't forget, Barcelona do have Lewandowski leading the charge over there. Again, another ex-Bayern player. So lots of interchangeable assets here. Bayern have got that reputation of spanking Barcelona, and they have played 15 times in 2006. What a good way, or what a way to win over the doubting Barcelona fans if they were to turn up and give Bayern a bit of a spanking themselves over here in Spain. Anyway, played 15 times in 2006, just 5 wins for Barcelona, 9 wins for Bayern. There's been 1 draw between the two sides. I talk about the spanking. It was actually in Barcelona. It's back in 2020. Bayern coming out on top with an 8-2 win. In fact, Bayern have actually won the last 3 they've played at this very venue. In fact, they've won the last 6 against Barcelona. In fact, Barcelona haven't scored a goal against Bayern in the last 4. So there's a lot riding on this, and there's a lot of pressure on the shoulders of Barcelona and probably Hansi Flick. And of course, Bayern coming into this on the back of that 7. They put 7 or something past, or 9 past Dynamo Zagreb earlier in the competition. So they know where the back of the net is. But they did lose as well last round against Aston Villa. Regardless, Barcelona on the back of a 3-0 win over Alaves. That's back-to-back clean sheets. Bayern, though, on the back of successive games without a loss. In fact, 3 games without a win right now. Drawing with Leverkusen, losing to Aston Villa, and then drawing with Frankfurt. So a lot of work to be done. The bookies, what are the bookies saying on this one? They're going with Barcelona to be favoured here on their own turf. I'm probably going to, it smells like I'm either going to be sitting on the fence. Yeah, I am. 2-2. It does smell like I'm sitting on the fence. 2-2 in the end. You know, a lot of build-up, a lot of hype will go into this game, but realistically, if they cancel each other out like this, yeah, hopefully there's goals, hopefully there's drama, because this is the highlight of this probably one of the Champions League's matches of the whole tournament. Meanwhile, let's head on over back to England and go to the Etihad. That's right, it's Manchester City take on Sparta Prague. That's right, City and the Pep Guardiola sit 8th right now, just inside that next level phase right now. 4 points to the name, a 75% form for them right now, with winning 3 out of the last 4 matches. Sparta Prague under Lars Friis, without a win in the last 3 matches. They sit 10th with also 4 points to the name. They've never played each other according to my eyes. Slavia Prague's last match was a big one, over a 2-1 win over Sparta Prague. In fact, they actually lost. Sorry, I take that all back. Sparta Prague's last match was a big one, and it was a big loss to Slavia Prague. That's right. City squeaking past Fulham, of course, 3-2. In the end, they'll be taking on Wolves on the road this weekend. Sparta Prague taking on Slovan Liberec, of course. Bookies go overwhelmingly so for Man City, as should you if you're predicting. Going to be a 3-0 win, comfortably done. City taking 3 points, and again, moving up the ladder. Meanwhile, heading over back to Germany we go. It's RB Leipzig taking on Liverpool, who are pretty much stellar right now. 2 wins out of 2. Up against Leipzig, it's 29 for the table. No points out of a possible 6 as well. Marco Rosa's Leipzig, 50% form for them right now. Win 2, lose 2, and drawn 2 over the last 6. Up against Liverpool under Arne Slot, who won 6 on the bounce. And looking pretty formidable at this moment in time. Now, these 2 clubs have played 3 times since 2021. One was a friendly, so we'll ignore that one. But the other 2 were in the Champions League. Round of 16 back in 2021, and it was back-to-back 2-0 wins for Liverpool to go through successfully to the next stage. Meanwhile, Leipzig on the back of a 1-0 win over Heidenheim. Liverpool with a 1-0 win over Crystal Palace to make it back-to-back clean sheets after beating Bologna last time in the Champions League. The bookies on this, they go with Liverpool. It's going to be a tricky away game. It's not overwhelmingly so, but Liverpool taking the 3 points, as do I. Squeaky 2-1 win to make it 3 wins out of 3 and remain in tip-top shape towards the top of this Champions League. Meanwhile, we head over to Madrid now as Atletico need to bounce back following that last defeat. Up against Lille, coming at you at the Riyadh Metropolitano. Atletico managed by Diego Simeone on 58% form for them right now. Just 1 defeat in the last 5. They sit 23rd with 3 points to their name. Up against Lille, under Bruno Jacinto, they sit 18th with 3 points to their name, but they're unbeaten in the last 4 matches, winning 3 on the spin. Those wins include for Lille a 1-0 win over Real Madrid. Can they do the double and take out this Madrid as well? Speaking of Madrid sides, Atletico's last match at this competition was a 4-0 loss to Benfica, and they're coming into this on the back of that draw against Real Sociedad. That's right. Atletico will take on Leganes this weekend. They're expected to win that game. Lille going to take on Monaco, where they're expected to lose that game. But when the game comes to this venue over in Spain, in Madrid, Atletico should come out on top, and I'm going to go with that as well. 2-0 winners. Atletico getting back to winning ways. Heading over to Portugal as Benfica will be taking on the Dutchies. That is Feyenoord. Benfica under Bruno Lage, 92% form for them right now. They sit 3rd with 2 wins out of 2. And they've won 5 games on the spin in all competitions and all venues. Feyenoord on the flip side, under Brian Prisk, they sit 22nd. Just 3 points of a possible 6 as well. They're unbeaten in the last 4 matches, include 3 wins and a draw to boot. Benfica, though, picking up, have actually played Feyenoord 4 times since 2008. They won 3 of them. They've lost 1 of them, with the most recent match being a 5-0 win. But, of course, all those games mean absolutely nothing because they were all friendlies. Benfica, though, on the back of a 4-0 win over Atletico. That was their last match, of course, back on October the 2nd. They've actually scored 12 goals in the last 3 games combined. Feyenoord, though, they did play Enschede. Their last match was a 2-1 win at their own turf. But they're expected to lose this game. Benfica are favoured, of course. Both sides are in action in their domestic competitions. So the bookies go Benfica. I, too, go with Benfica. 3-1 winners in the end. And we head over to Austria now, as Salzburg, RB Salzburg, taking on Dynamo Zagreb in what has must been dubbed as a must-win game. Taking place at the Red Bull Arena. Pipin Linschners of Salzburg up against Nidad Perjenka of Dynamo Zagreb. They played 9 times in 2009. 4 wins for Salzburg, 2 for Zagreb, 3 draws, of course. Salzburg, though, on 42% form for them right now. 0 points over possible 6. Back-to-back defeats for them in all competitions and all venues. Zagreb, though, on the back of a good bit of form. Unbeaten now last 4 matches. They sit 28th, though, in this competition with just 1 point. Now, they have played 9 times, like I said, with the most recent match being at in Croatia. It was back in October 2022. It was a 1-1 draw. The last time they played, though, over at this venue, Salzburg came out top with a 1-0 win back in October 2022. Salzburg on the back of a 4-0 loss to Sturm Graz, with Zagreb picking up a 1-0 win over Vardar Zin in their domestic top flight. The bookies, they go with Salzburg on this one. Zagreb, the underdogs. I think it's going to be tight. Smells like a draw in my eyes, but no, I'm going to favour the 1-0 win. 1-0 win for Salzburg. Zagreb. Salzburg will make it a difficult place to go. And then finally, folks, it is Young Boys Bern against Internazionale, taking place at everybody's favourite. It's the Wankdorf Stadium. That's right. Young Boys under Jon Margen currently find themselves in 36th spot without a point, and 4 defeats out of the last 5. Grim times for the Swiss outfit. Internazionale under Simone Inzaghi. They are up there in 9th right now, 4 points of a possible 6, but they've won 3 matches on the spin. Now, they've not played each other, these 2 sides. According to my data, the Young Boys are looking at 3 defeats on the spin. They haven't scored a goal in the last 3 either. Those defeats include losses to Grasshopper, Barcelona and Basel. As for Inter, they're on the completely opposite side, winning 3 on the spin, beating the likes of Donetsk, Red Star Belgrade and Torino. Bookies will go with, of course, Internazionale, as will I, and probably you guys too. I'm going to go with a 1-0 win, just enough to get over the line, and of course continue Internazionale's adventure so far in this Champions League phase. That, my friends, completes my picks. Of course, don't forget to get your picks in as well. That was the link. Hopefully I'll see you back around, of course, when we look forward to match day number 4. That's right. So please like it, subscribe, smash the like, all the business, hit the little bell, and of course come back next time around when we'll have more Champions League action.